The Swim England Masters National Championships is my favourite weekend of the year. Not only because we get to race at one of the best venues in the UK, Ponds Forge, but also because I get to spend time with my family and friends. This year I was super excited because not only did we have two men's teams in every race, but for the first time ever, we would also have a women's team. At these competitions, I basically round up all my close friends and we compete for Dartmoor darts. And if you join me today on this video, I'll take you through the journey of the weekend where we ended up setting multiple Masters world records.
She was the best damn woman that I've ever seen.
On Thursday night, Matt drove me and Rob up to Sheffield in his literally all singing and dancing Tesla. The next morning we went and got some nice breakfast and we were laughing about how we'd seen Matt without a beard, to which he said, "No, this is a beard," and we couldn't believe the picture he showed us. We then headed over to the glorious Ponds Forge because although I wasn't racing, the meet did start on the Friday and the premier event of the day had to be the 50 butterfly, where we see Ollie rip a good time, Rob set a PB, Zoe crushed the underwater and Clive had a swim, well, that just left him with a little smile on his face. The first race of Saturday morning was the mixed 4x100 medley relay. It started at 9 AM and I made sure I got there about 10 minutes before the race kicked off. Not because I was going to be ill prepared, but because I wasn't on the team. Last year we set the British record in this event and missed the world record by an agonising 0.1. And the team then was Lauren on the backstroke, Kieran on the breaststroke, me on the butterfly and my sister Dolly on the freestyle. This year we changed 3 of the 4 legs. Now we had Dan leading off on the backstroke, with Zoe on the breaststroke, Matt on the butterfly, and Lauren was the only remaining team member finishing it off on the freestyle. Dan is a fantastic backstroker and he looks really high quality here as he has a big underwater on the last length to bring it home and finish in a very, very fast 55.0, passing it over to Zoe, who was making her debut swim for the DDA team on a nationals relay. Now Zoe's a bit of a do-it-all swimmer. She can butterfly, she can backstroke, she can freestyle, and clearly she can breaststroke. And it was really hard to replace Kieran. Last year we had Kieran, and Kieran is such an exceptional breaststroker that replacing him is really difficult. He spit a 61.1 on this relay last year. And as we see Zoe's competitive with the guy who's swimming 2 lanes over. She's actually having a look. There you go, see her have a little look as she swims, and she went out like astonishingly fast here. Her all-time best was a 1:11 and we knew she'd have to be around there for us to be competitive with the world record. And at 50, she was well on pace to do just that. And Zoe keeps turning over with this awesome high stroke rate. And as you watch through the rest of this video, you'll notice that Zoe, me, the rest of the team are wearing these arena race caps that have my logo on the side. And if you do want to pick them up, they're available for sale on my website. This one in particular is the Arena Wave 3D Aquaforce cap. It's the best in the game and you can buy it in the description box and on my website. And as Zoe comes in, she swims under her PB, she goes a 1:10 and Matt dives in with a really safe takeover. And Matt was apprehensive before this. He has not had the best luck with injuries and illness over the last couple of years, and although he stayed injury free this time round, he got really sick after the county meet in September and just hadn't been in the water near as much as he had hoped. Because of that, he didn't know if he'd be fast or slow, and it's always like that when you're at your taper meet, your main meet, your focus meet, you've shaved, and you obviously want to believe you're going to be good, but you have that little nagging in the back of your mind, and Matt very much had that. and his all-time best in the 100 butterfly is a 55.0, and that's exactly what he splits here. He's only raced 100 fly twice this season short course. One of them was a 57.2, the other was a 58.0, all in the last 8 weeks. And here he goes, knocking a massive 55.0, and he looks great the whole way through. As he passes over to Lauren, we have a monumental lead. You can't see anyone else in the frame, not just because of the zoom, but because there's no one close to us. And Lauren is basically just doing a victory lap at this point. Lauren is of course an ex-GB swimmer. She's won international medals, but is retired. She now works in the fire service, and I'm really grateful that she enjoys hanging out with us enough to come for the second year in a row to do this meet. Last year she only swam 1 day. This year she's come back with her brother Grant, and they're racing 2 days of the meet. So I'd like to think they had a good time. They come with the whole family, they come with their partners, they come with their support network, and we have a brilliant time with them. And you know, it helps that while Lauren would tell you she's not near her best, she still is very damn good at swimming. And she closes at this relay in 57.0 to absolutely obliterate our British record from last year, but also obliterate the world record we came up just short of last year. And I couldn't think of a more perfect start to this session, this weekend of racing. Our very first relay breaks the world record, everyone swam fast, and now the bar was very high for the rest of the meet. Another reason I love this meet so much is that even though it's the national championships, it's also very inclusive. And that means not only does my dad get to come watch, but he also gets to race as well.
Got it!
And in the scoreboard end, Alison Wright first in 42.10, second.
I've been here at Ponsford, Sheffield now for like 20 hours. I've watched our teammates swim world records, I've seen PBs, and finally I'm going to race. I can't wait. It's the big one, the blue ribbon up first, the 4x50 men's and women's freestyle relay. We've got 2 teams, 3 teams in fact. We've got 2 men's teams and a women's teams. It's a masters meet, so there's world records on the line, but the teams are in age groups. So we're the 100 plus team, which means our ages add up to 100 to 120, and then we also have a 120 plus team, so their ages add up to 120. Anyway, we've also got a girls team. We're bringing out some players. So we're bringing out Grant. Hello. How long are you? Oh, Grant's been. Panic.
First swim in about 7 years. Looking forward to the comeback.
Nice.
There's got to be a PB in there somewhere.
If there's a PB, I'll go crazy.
Stored one up.
We've got new shirts. They might be available on the website for day left. And we've got the greyhound. So I'm trying to be colour coordinated. So I've got teal gum, teal on here. I'm not wearing the Primo. I've used the bicarb lotion on my body, never done before, but Matt loved it this morning, set a world record in the mixed 4x1 medley. I've warmed up in the pool. I'm not done capsule today. I've got some caffeine, yeah. I'm just super excited. There's two big opposition. We've got Woking, the British record holders, then we've got East Leeds, and we've got us. And the 100 plus team's me, Reg, Clive, who's just behind the camera, and Jamie, who's got a brand new 3MR on. So we've got Mizuno for this, and then we're Primoing later.
Because look, do you know what you've got here? Right, it's going to mess up your exposure settings, right? So what you do is you position them to the side here. Now look, you've got contrast. See these shadows? You don't need fancy equipment, you just need a DJI Pocket 3. Go to the link in the description and get yours today.
Guys, it's Grant, Freddie, Tom, Rob.
90% sure, guys.
Grant, Freddie, Tom, Rob.
Scary guys.
Can't possibly for you. Can't control these boys, they might go a bit they're feral. Wow. Oh, man down.
Get him off the scene.
Man down. Ready to go?
Are you going? I think so. Are you going?
Good luck.
Ready? Hi, Zoe.
So me and the other 7 lads descended the stairs to poolside in matching shirts to go and race the 4x50 freestyle relay, hoping to keep the momentum going from our world record earlier in the day. First up was our 120 plus team. That meant that the average age was between 30 and 40 years old, and Grant Quigley had requested to lead off, which must have meant even though he hadn't raced in 7 years, he was quietly confident, and we were not ready for how fast he was. We were behind the blocks going absolutely crazy because not only did he look brilliant, he was brilliant, and he went a 22.8, which is just 0.3 of his lifetime best from 2016. And he hands over to Freddie Clampett, already well ahead of the competition, and Freddie only extends that lead. He uses a brilliant underwater kicking off the turn to go past 10 meters, surface, take a quick breath, and then accelerate to the finish, splitting in 23.0, handing over to Tom, whose leaps and hops are as athletic as they come. This was Tom's first race for us, and he absolutely just went chaotic with the stroke rate. He's fast and furious, and although he takes 2 sloppy breaths into the turn and another one out the turn, he still goes well under his lifetime best with a 23.7. And I think Tom could go a lot quicker if he gets a bit more race experience under his belt and doesn't take as many breaths as he did in that 50. And the race was already a done deal. These boys would go on to win the national title, but it was just whether or not Rob could go quick enough to get the British record, which was a very lofty 1:32.3. And Rob did everything he could. He went well under his PB at the time of 23.9, splitting a 23.4 as they finished for the gold in 1:33.1. At this point in time, I'm stood behind the blocks for the next heat, extremely excited and even a little bit confident because the first team had exceeded expectations in all areas, and we had the big man Jamie Ingram leading us off. We weren't happy with our lane draw. We'd have liked to be in the middle of the pool where the other 2 teams, Woking and East Leeds, were. And as you can see, because we're so zoomed in, we can't see them, they can't see us. And to be honest, we're 0.3 behind East Leeds' lead-off leg of Jordan Cooley, who went a 22.1 to Jamie's 22.4. We then put Reg in the pool, and last year Reg was our MVP, splitting 22.5. And although his 100 and 200 at this meet were fantastic, he didn't quite have the power and speed for this 50 freestyle, and he actually gave us a lot of work to do, going to 23.3 and passing over to Clive. You can't see at this point, but we are in about 3rd place, and I'm thinking, come on Clive, you've got to pull something together. Like, I'm thinking we're going to break the British record, the world record, and win the gold. And I'm like, what's happening? Everything's falling apart. The first 2 relays have been perfect. Surely we can't let everyone down now. And Clive was like fully submerged on the breakout. He really struggled to then build momentum. He split a 23.8, and I was at this point a distant 3rd. And even though I split the fastest 53 style of my life, going 22.5, it was not enough to claw back either of the other 2 teams. But ended up beating us in the end by a large margin of victory. East Leeds broke the world record in 1:30.5. It was then 1:31.4 for Woking, and we were well back in 1:32.1. Quicker than the previous British record, but nowhere near as quick as these other 2 teams. And as far as I was concerned, this was failure. This was not what we were here to do. We wanted to be better.
How good was Grant?
They were good.
Grant hadn't raced in 7 years. We're at 22.8.
And he tried to come up early to avoid his first stroke. And he agreed with the turn.
I'm going to go and check on Meg's or that, I guess.
Maya
I'm going to put mine on or not?
0-2-14.
What else are you going to do?
Hold it.
With 2 lengths to
Looks
go.
better than
He's still
that.
quite close.
Hello.
We start doing endless love. My love. My love.
I'm the high one, obviously.
You can stay where you are.
Oh, right.
You're framed perfectly.
It's like, right, go back, to the left, to the left. Hi, I'm Lauren Quigley, and this is...
I'm Grant Quigley.
And we were the Quigley duo here, racing with Sonny's team this weekend. How have you found it?
Really good, really enjoyed it. Got a hell of a team. This is the first time I've raced properly in about 8 years, so to be back in with such an amazing team it's been phenomenal. Really loved it.
It's been all right.
It's been good.
I'm joking.
Very good.
It's been great. I've loved it. I did it last year, and my mission for this year was to bring someone back. So obviously I brought this guy. But it's been amazing. Great team as always. The team's pretty much doubled as well. But swimming with this guy, I've not swum with him for a while, so it's been an extra special one this time.
It's been a very nice throwback. We've all been in matching uniform, matching skins, and they feel bloody good. Feels very quick in the water. Did some freestyle yesterday, got close to my PB. Backstroke this morning also, some good times. I know you've done some quick times as well.
Yeah, it's been alright, yeah, not too bad. Thanks to Sonny, absolute legend.
Thank you for Sonny for sorting it out.
Now.
Here he is, the man himself.
Clarify, Grant was MVP of the whole meet.
I don't agree with
Grant,
that.
we've all been excited. He's been a little low key. There's been a few little messages like of him in a sauna, like I'm ready. And then he led off the 53 relay yesterday, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, this guy's the real deal." We never doubted it.
Some good times.
But MVP.
It was incredible.
Alright, I'll give it him MVP. Well done, congrats.
Lauren can't handle it.
Congrats.
You have to get
For once.
Really? You just walked across the camera.
Through the camera.
You just walked across the camera.
By the time the men's 4x100 freestyle relay came around Saturday afternoon, both teams were hungry for something big, and we kicked off with the 120 plus team, which led off with Rob equaling his PB of 53.3, and then he handed over to Matt, who after his massive 100 fly on the world record team early that day, knew he would be flying. He exceeded his own expectations with a huge 50.9 split and handed over to Grant, who at this point needs no explanation, and his big powerful stroke was fast enough for a 50.8, the best on this team. He handed over to Clive, whose lifetime best was over 53 seconds, and would put the pressure on him, saying he needed to be better than that, and better than that he was. He won his very first sub 53, going past 52 to go a 51.9 and bring this team home to a British record. In the following heat, it was then our turn, and we were going up once again with Woking and East Leeds, who had beaten us just hours before in the 4x50 freestyle relay. East Leeds were leading off with their best swimmer, Jordan Cooley, who would end up going a 48 here. But we had no slouch either in Reg Lloyd, but by 35 metres, he was already at Jordan's hips. Because our team was in such a fortunate position by having such a strong group of swimmers, paired with the fact that some swimmers hadn't raced in literal years, team selection was actually quite difficult. And if I look at the 4x50 freestyle relay earlier in the day, I think if I'd put Grant and Freddie on our 100 plus team instead of Clive and Reg, I think that team would have been very competitive with East Leeds and maybe even broke the record. That being said, I think I absolutely nailed the team selection on this 100 freestyle relay. And talking of team selection, Reg finishes off his lead-off leg in a massive 50.4, the fastest he has swum individually in literal years. And he hands over to Jamie Ingram, a bit of a ringer, but he does have quite a bit of a deficit to East Leeds' Richard Eyre. But already he is hunting him down, and that's all I'd said to him before the race. Don't worry about anything, I just want you out there hunting like a bloodhound. And by 50, it's almost level, and as he comes up at 12.5 metres off the 50 wall, he is already in the lead, and his legs are motoring, his stroke rate is powerful, and he hits the last wall, uses his excellent trademark underwaters, and pulls a body length on East Leeds. I'm waiting on the blocks thinking this is exactly what we need. I feel confident, I have a safe relay takeover, and I dive in against East Leeds' Jeff Lowe with a solid cushion to work with. My main tactic going into this race was find a good rhythm early on and not to over push the first 50. Something that when I do, I cannot finish the race and my back end would have been atrocious. Even with that conscious thought, the excitement and adrenaline did mean I went out a little quicker than I'd have liked, going out at 23.9 to the feet and making sure I moved all the way over to the other side of the lane so no one could draft on me. I probably didn't realise I had such a lead that drafting would have been impossible, and I was so focused on this last length of just getting over that I almost hit the lane rope And I think it's about this point in the race, I'm like, oh my God, I just nearly hit the guy in the lane next to me. And then I got over the distraction, got my head down, done everything I could to give Freddie as much as a lead over their anchor Sam Lorman. And Freddie was not going to let anyone beat him, especially not with this much of a lead. Now, Freddie's been retired for like 2 years. He raced for the first time 2 weeks before this and went a 53-100 freestyle. And I'm just thinking at this point of time, that's not going to be good enough. We can't have a 53-1. And luckily, Freddie's a winner. Freddie will not let anyone pass him on a relay, and he was not going to go 53-1. Even without any real training and just a bit of CrossFit in the gym, he managed to close really nicely. And other than that big breath into the last turn that scared all of us, he had enough of the last wall to push his victory, splitting a rather ridiculous 50.9, 2.1 seconds quicker than he went the other weekend, break the previous world record by a whopping 4 seconds, and to show how fast and deep this race was, Woking in third and East Leeds in second also broke the old world record. Now, going back to team selection, the reason I was so happy and proud with the 4x1 and how both the 100 and 120 plus teams did was because before this meet, both the British records in them age groups was held by East Leeds. They had set them 2 records in back-to-back years using the same 3 guys on both teams. But what we did was use 8 separate guys on one day in back-to-back heats and still break both them records. And that's why I was so happy, as you can see.
We'll be wanting to hold that in the third leg. Cynthia Salford. Let's see whether they are closing in. I'm not sure that they are.
Hey, cheers Arena for sorting out the entire team this weekend with Primos. We just set the British record in the 120 plus and the world record in the 100 plus. 8 different guys, 2 records, and Arena getting us out with Primos. Cheers Arena.
Last to go up. Talk about long days and a lot of racing, because this is still on the Saturday. And in the final session, the final race was the men's 4x100 medley relay. And if you remember last year, we broke the world record. The team then was Dan, Kieran, me on the fly and Reg on the freestyle. And we did have a couple of changes this year. Of course, Kieran was not here, so Rob replaced him on the breaststroke with Jamie replacing me on the butterfly. Since last year, our world record had been broken, but we still held both the British and European records at 3:41. And now we can see East Leeds, after we beat them in the 4x1 free, are well ahead of us in the first leg. That's Sam Lorman, who's kicking on his side, racing against Dan. But Dan has the most outrageous last turn, popping up just before 15 to come level and then overtake Sam on the touch to go a 54.4, letting Rob have the slightest margin of lead over Richard Eyre on the breaststroke. But Rob has raced a lot, and his breaststroke hasn't been as confident as his fly or free. And Richard Eyre is sitting so high on the water and just accelerates away. Richard ends up going a 60 point on this leg, and Rob is doing his very best. His all-time PB back from the late 2000s was a 63 low, but since then, since he's come back, his very best has been a 65 high. So he's doing a brilliant job as he splits 29 to the 50 wall, just of his actual individual PB. But we are going to have a lot of work to go on the next leg. I can see that Rob's digging in. I know he wants it so bad. He's already got a couple of British records today, but the thought of getting a world record was really powering him on. I told him that if he could go something like a 64, he should be able to get the world record. But what I wasn't accounting for, or we wasn't accounting for, is potentially getting beaten. And with it being 1-1 between us and East Leeds, Jamie was going to have to do a hell of a butterfly leg to get us even a chance of winning this relay and getting the world record. East Leeds had Jeff Lowe on the butterfly, and Jamie is churning it up underwater, going well past 10 metres and breaking out just before the 15 with his ultimately powerful and fast kicks. But unlike the 4x1 relay, where he'd already caught up East Leeds at 50, he was still behind as we went into the 75 turn. But another brilliant underwater puts him in contention, and then by the time we get to the 75 wall, he turns at the same time as Jeff and puts a beat down on him, underwater, once again maximising the distance but breaking out quite sluggish and high. But it's enough that he's going to give Reg a lead on the last leg. Reg is once again going against Jordan Cooley, who earlier beat him on the 4x1 lead-off. Jamie had just split an outrageous 50.9 and Reg has almost been caught up by 25. That being said, he is holding himself ahead of Jordan as they go into the 50 turn and everyone is going mad. East leads are urging on Jordan, me and my family and my friends are all urging on Reg, and at 50 to go we still have a slight lead, and if anything it looks like Reg might be going faster than Jordan with 25 to go. I think from a non-biased spectator standpoint this was the race of the day, but Jordan just starts to bring his kick in, up his stroke rate and pushes ahead of Reg as we get towards the right at the end of the race, and it was enough to get a small win over Reg. Unsurprisingly, both teams were under the previous world record, but the spoils would go to East Leeds again.
Hello, I'm Jamie. Sonny drafted me in for the relay today. Well, all 3 relays. So we had the 4x50 freestyle this morning, and it was good. So I raced about a month ago. I was 22.6 then, so I was 22.41 leading off today. So it's actually my 4th fastest time ever, which is pretty encouraging. And then I think we came 3rd in that, so decent as a team. But kind of we've come in this meet. Sonny's sold me on the idea that we're going to break some world records. So next event then this afternoon was our 4x1 freestyle. So I went 2nd in that. We had Reg leading us off, and he was flying, to be fair, at 50. He looked great. So kind of all I needed from him really was for him to put me in a position to chase down the lad next to us, which I did. So I felt good on there for about 75, and then kind of sort of fell apart last 25. But 48.0 is for how we are now is very encouraging. So it's fun with that, with 2 teams next to each other, kind of battling. Sonny's the man knowing all these records, so he said potentially all 3 of our teams could go under. So we just had to make sure we won. So I give Sonny a decent lead. He held on, then Freddie's kind of finished it like an animal. And then we finished then with our 4x1 medley. And again, that's similar. We knew what our target time was. And again, my fly was actually flowing really well. I was 23.1 out, 50.9. So the 50 point kind of end of the day is pretty good. And then lastly from me, I just want to plug my website. It's www.jingramswimming.com, and I offer kind of a range of services, but probably the ones you'd be most interested in are race analysis. So all you have to do is video a race, send it to me, kind of go through the website. There's a few different packages depending on the level of report you want. And whether you want a phone call or a video message kind of explaining the report. The other thing that might be worthwhile for you is mentoring. So athlete mentoring, we'll have a call every month, but then you've also got my phone number and you can text me, call me, whatever, kind of with questions through the month to help you swim faster. You're not sure necessarily about maybe nutrition or gym work or kind of all these other aspects of swimming, like nutrition, sleep, hydration, kind of rest, that work-swim balance. That because I've got kind of that experience with now, kind of I'd like to help pass that on to as many people. So really just from me, thanks for Sonny for inviting me here, thanks to the rest of the team for swimming really well, thanks for Egg on the camera, wearing my hat, you've probably seen it throughout the video, and that's it from me. Go to my website, jingramswimming.com, and then I've also got a YouTube channel, and I'll have my own video from this weekend, so go and watch that as well.
That wasn't. This is Jamie. Everyone's left. This was packed earlier. Jamie's got his little campsite. He's leaving off to watch Norwich. Oh, Reg has also got his little campsite. Egg's got the best cap in the game.
Only 2 of them in the game.
There's only 2? And you gave one to my dad?
Gave out the cards, prepped him. Told them to give him some love. We're just back at the Airbnb after Saturday, looking through some great pictures with some great people, and oh, everyone's gone quiet.
Lindsay Rowe continuing a very consistent.
Sunday morning, early. There's 8 of us, 8 mon, ready to swim 4x50 medley. I'm ready.
I'm ready. How you doing?
Let's go.
Let's go.
The final day of competition started off with a 4x50 medley relay, where I teamed up with Dan, Matt and Rob to end up breaking the British and European record in the 120 plus category. Unfortunately though, Dan miscounted his strokes and ended up missing the wall, spent too long on his front and got disqualified, which meant even though his performance was hindered and he was way slower than he was in the individual, we did rightfully get disqualified and will have to come back next year and break that record again.
Second.
Century Sheffield in 4, Preston in 5,
What happened?
Birmingham Masters in 6, Portsmouth North Sea in
European record stripped.
First of 2, 72.
We go again. We've brought in reg. We've got the mixed 4x1 free. We have to get redemption. Poor Rob. Rob at this meet has broken a world record but come second, so didn't get it. Broken the European record and got it disqualified.
Yeah, that's my 9th swim, 8 medals, 9th medal. One more to go.
It's real fluffy there. How are you? How's your day been?
Nice to meet you, Clive Marquis.
My name's Clive Marks. No, I'm Clive Marks, you're Zoe Course. Nice to meet you, Zoe Course. One of the two, you know.
This is Clive.
This is Zoe. We swim together.
Yeah, we swim together.
Yeah.
We've had a great weekend here so far. Still got a couple more races left. All our relays have gone so far, haven't they?
Absolutely. I heard you're a world record holder too.
I am a world record holder now,
Am I right in
officially.
saying that's a world record, European and British record?
Of course it's a world
This is
record,
3
European
little
and
places.
British record.
I mean, that's pretty cool, right?
But you're also a British record holder yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, the lads did great. They
Yeah.
swam really fast. It was really exciting. We all had a great time. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I mean the team atmosphere has been incredible. Finally getting to race with some other girls who are same age, same speed. It's been phenomenal with Dolly, Emma, Lauren, the lot. It's been great fun.
Absolutely. No,
But still, one more attempt. 4x1 mixed freestyle relay is my next relay. And we'll just balls to the walls, have it out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be good fun. We're just having a great time, and hey presto, right?
Yeah, can't thank Tanya enough for letting us be part of the team this year, obviously.
Absolutely.
But no, it's been a good weekend.
No, it has.
Here's to the last couple of races.
Yeah.
First of 3 heats in the 1824s. Coming here, Cameron McDonald, Nathaniel Turner, Samuel Worley, Jason Pears, Louis Batt, Matthew Wilson. Towards the turn 5 of the 6.
I didn't show it today because it was in another video, but in between the medley relay in the morning and this 4x2 to finish the whole meet, we've done the mixed 4x100 freestyle relay where we broke the previous world record. I set a PB on the lead off, but we got beaten by Trafford Metro. And because of this, I was really nervous. We were in the lane next to Trafford Metro in the 4x200 freestyle where we're defending champions and we set the British record last year, and I didn't want to get beaten. Reg led us off brilliantly in a 150 point. Matt went second and was amazing, 152.1, and then here I am in third. I started off looking really good there, and then I finished off looking like this. I was 2 seconds slower than last year at 158, and Jack Pickering's done it the exact same split, 204.55 to the 100th as he did last year, and we come up just short 0.2 off our British record from last year. If I could have just pulled my finger out, we could have broken our own British record. We ended up beating Trafford Metro comfortably in the end, and it was a good finish to the whole meet.
By 9/10. Birmingham Masters second, Trafford Metro third. Then a bit of a gap to Newcastle and Loughborough and Medway Maritime rather.
Meet begun, meet done.
Still it is City of Sheffield.
Come here, Reg. What did you say to me?
To be fair, I think there's one thing I want to point out is I give credit to, I'd say, the whole team, because I think literally all of DDA, even though we race under DDA.
Clive and Joe are the only ones who don't.
Yeah,
everyone else, 15 of the 17, we train in public sessions.
Yeah, literally all public sessions. If anything, I think I train the most. And
4 times a week,
literally 4 1-hour swims a week. And I personally, I think that's amazing, like seeing all the times we can do. Like Grant today, he literally trains twice a week.
Twice a week.
And you go like 22.
In fact, Grant's on twice a week for 8 weeks. That was his whole thing.
Honestly, it's absolutely nuts. So I think we've got to give credit to the whole team there. Like Matt, I'd say, I think Matt's probably build up to this wasn't optimal, but absolutely smashing it, like a 152 in a relay. Like, it's crazy. And so hopefully that gives everyone the buzz for next year just to push it. And I think it just shows it's more quality over quantity. And again, it's Masters life, isn't it? So everyone does their 9 to 5s with their thing and just try and squeeze and swim when we can. And it's
public warriors.
Literally public warriors, yes.
Feeling it still. Unloading the egg. Here he is. He's got a frame out for my wall decoration he's brought down with him.
His charging block is.
Time to leave, eh?
Time to leave, man.
Big 3 days. Big 3 days.
Big 3 days.
Oh, it's getting a Tesla. Yeah, we're gonna go fix. I feel like I can't do one of these videos. KFC last year. 5 Guys this year. Little check. 5 Guys and a Costa Cooler.
A bit quicker than last year.
We're at the McDonald's on the way home. Look who we bumped into. Greg's going in for the hug. Noseman, look at him. Glass is gone.
Overall, this meet was literally as good as last year. In fact, it was better because there was more of us. 17 swimmers for DDA this year. My parents were down. It was awesome. Best weekend of the year, every year. But we got beaten a lot more this year. We got beaten once last year. In all relays last year, we got beaten once. This year, we got beaten a lot. And we got beaten by so many teams. We got beaten by Trafford, we got beaten by Woking, we got beaten by East Leeds. And we swam faster in every race we got beaten in, which, like, I can't tell you how many records are broken by teams here. Like, this must be one of the best fastest Masters meets of all time. Like, look at the results. Just to clarify, in the mixed 4x1 free relay today, we split 51-1, 49-7, and then our women 56-4 and 57-0, and we got beaten. It was a world record by 6 seconds. Trafford were 51-52, and their women 54-9 and 55-5. That's the level of master swimming in this country now. So, look, hats off to Trafford. Hats off to East Leeds. They set 3 world records in our age group. They beat us in the 4x53 relay, in the 4x1 medley relay, and then they broke our old British record in the 4x50 medley relay and broke the world record in all of them. And Woking beat us again 2 years in a row. Woking have beaten us in the 4x50, so kudos. And we got the world record in the 4x1 free yesterday. All 3 teams, Woking, us and East Leeds, broke the previous world record. Yeah, and also shout out to our other world record breaking team, which was Dan, Zoe, Lauren and Matt. They got the mixed medley relay. But no, honestly, thanks everyone for coming. If you want a great training program, I can write you that. So check out my website. T-shirts for sale, there's only a few left because they're special editions for this weekend. And more videos coming soon. Woo!